So today we're going to be talking about all things mobility and flexibility related, and we'll have a special something to add. We're going to be working only with elevation, something where we can put our leg or our hands on that elevate our stretches. We have chosen as elevation one of the boxes we use for box jumps. The good thing about this one is we can change the height depending on what we need it for. Now we have a smaller elevation where we can put our leg on, or we can have a higher elevation depending on how much mobility we have. And the second equipment we have is a bodybuilder who doesn't work enough on their mobility, and we're gonna see if they can help us learn a little bit about how to stretch for people who do a lot of hypertrophy. To start out very easy, we're gonna step back just like 1 or 2 steps, and we're gonna put our left leg extended up here. Now, there are very important things we need to take care of before we do anything, which is we want to have our hips parallel to whatever we're using as an elevation. Try not to turn outwards, because that is going to decrease the amount of flexibility or stretch you're going to have. So, turn your hips like so, and then we're going to try and pull in our toes closer and closer towards our body. Now, for here, no one's having any trouble at all. Keep both legs straight, and now we can start. First, extending our back as far as we can, and then we're going to slowly move closer to our leg. Now you can start rounding your lumbar spine at a certain point where you can't pull any further, like so, and then you're going to start pushing your upper body closer towards your leg and bringing your head towards your knee. If you can stay fully extended during the whole phase, that is totally perfect. If you cannot, try to work your way up there over time. Then we're gonna slowly come back again. Now, I'm only going to switch legs to show what the next exercise is going to be. So, of course, we're going to do both sides, left side, right side, and then we're going to switch by turning over here. Both legs are extended. Careful now, and then we're going to turn the foot down like so, switching the stretch from our hamstrings to our adductors. Stay straight. Now we're going to be pulling down to the foot on the ground. Stay extended in both legs and pull your head in as much as you can. Slowly come back up again. Careful now. And then turn forward. So that's how we do it. We do 20 to 30 seconds statically forward, and then 20 to 30 seconds statically downwards. And then we're going to come up again and switch legs, of course. Now, the next thing we're going to do is use our upper body too. So, hands on the elevation, like so. We're going to step back just a little bit, and we're going to start down at the bottom. We're going to tilt our pelvis until our lumbar spine is in an extension. So, that is spinal flexion. This is spinal extension. Push down as much as you can. Push your chest towards the ground. Pull your shoulder blades together at the very top. Extend your arms and shoulders. Your legs are straight, and now we're going to start bending them. Bend the left leg only, and then switch and bend the right leg only. Very good. And push downwards. Now, as you can see here, the more mobile you get in your hamstrings, the more you're going to be able to go into a spinal extension here. The bonus of this exercise is the more we open up our chest and pull together our shoulder blades, push downwards, the more we're going to be opening up our chest and shoulder mobility as well. Meaning we have nice posterior mobility working down all the way from our toes to our hands. We're going to be switching left side, right side for 30 seconds. Now we're going to slowly come up again. The next exercise would be basically going down all the way towards the ground now. So hands to the ground. And if you have done everything correctly and if you've warmed up correctly, you should be able to somewhat either touch your toes or bring your whole hands down to the ground. Okay, so this is what happens when we use progressive overload, basically increasing the amount of stretch that we require with each session or with each round. So we're going to start out with the left leg up here. I'm going to hold your hand like so. You can, yes, very good. Number one, we want to try and extend both legs straight. Now, here you're going to notice the further you push your toes outward, the more you're going to relax the stretch in your gastric and soleus as well as in your Achilles tendon. Now, what happens when you pull your toes in? You're going to switch the stretch from your upper hamstrings lower down to here, the insertions of your lower leg musculature, as well as the insertions of your upper leg musculature, instead of having more hamstring dominant stretch. Now the next thing we're going to do is try and go parallel to the elevation we are using, meaning your foot on the ground as to go forward and your hip has to stay parallel to the elevation you're using. And we want to extend both legs fully. And this is where the most important thing you're going to learn today is going to take place. It's called reciprocal inhibition. Reciprocal inhibition basically means that when you flex a certain muscle, the antagonist of that muscle relaxes by itself. If you flex your quadriceps now, flex, the other side of your leg starts slowly relaxing a little bit. You're going to notice. If you flex your biceps, your triceps has to relax, or else you're just going to rip out your tendons. So this is what you're going to use. You're going to flex your quad to relax the backside. And now you can see here his leg is fully extended. And he's going to try to do the same thing with his other leg too. Now the more he flexes both quadriceps, the more he has a stretch in his hamstrings on both sides. You can see it is very uncomfortable for him, especially because we're using a lot of elevation that he's not used to. So we're going to switch sides as we did before. So we're going to turn sideways, which is going to release the stretch in his hamstrings and move it to his adductors. Slowly, carefully, if you can, extend both legs, turn this foot outward, and now with your upper body, try and go as low as you can towards your foot on the ground. You can hold on to your knee, you can hold on to a squat rack if that's what you're using, or you can hold on to anything that's going to help you keep up the balance so you don't fall flat on your face. So now we have switched from back side of the legs to inside of the legs by turning the feet downwards and this one outwards. So now we have a little bit more than a 90-degree angle between our legs. So now that we've done this, we can switch to the other side, and once we've done the other side, then we're going to do the upper body stretch again. He's suffering. This is the face of suffering. Now that our prima ballerina here is fully loose and limber, we're going to do the second exercise too. Both hands on top, shoulder width apart. He's going to step backward just a little bit and push his upper body down. Now you're going to notice that since the elevation is higher than his shoulders, when he goes into a 90-degree angle here, he's going to have a lot more flexibility requirements in his shoulders and chest musculature. Keep that in mind. Next thing, we're going to start at the very bottom here, tilt the pelvis until we go a little bit more into a spinal extension. We're going to push down our chest as much as we can, pull both shoulder blades together, and then pull backwards to elongate our arms and have more of a pull on the outside of our triceps as well as our deltoids. And now from here again, we're going to start just angling one leg, pushing this one backward, and then switching slowly to the other side. Left side, right side. And now there's something, you might not notice it, but since I'm very close, I can see it. He's not breathing. And there is a very good reason for that. So basically, your body's going to tense up because it expects at any moment to get injured or to rip a tendon. So the more you breathe deeply try to relax, the better it's going to be for you. Now you have spindle neurons trying to take away as much stretch as they can so you don't go too much into a position where you can get hurt. How you can get rid of that problem is by breathing deeply in through the nose, into your stomach, out through your mouth. Switch left side, right side, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. The better it feels, the longer you can do it. And after a while, just come slowly back, up again. And while we are here, we're going to turn around like so. And we're going to do just a little bit of an antagonist stretch by putting the left foot on an elevation behind us. So the first thing that's happening here, you're elongating your quadriceps and a little bit your hip flexors. And now all you need to do is push your hip forward as much as we can. Now we are stretching the antagonists of the posterior chain who we're just working on. With those two taken care of, most people have a sedentary lifestyle, have already taken care of most of the problems that are going to happen when it comes to mobility when getting older. Your hip mobility and your posterior chain mobility are going to keep you from getting into different positions, and over time you're going to get hurt, and that is not a good thing. So by doing those 3 stretches or those 3 things that we did today, you're going to get rid of all of those problems. As you can see here, he looks already so much more flexible than he did before, doesn't he? You see that? See that? He couldn't do that before, but now he can. So that is basically it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow because new videos every day. Captain Cairo, peace out. So.